Hey everybody, welcome back. As you can see, I am doing flowers. I got the flowers from Amazon. I got 2 packs of these beautiful flowers, and this tray I got from Amazon as well, and it's a chopping board, and I am going to be using these two to make this today. And I've also got some inks as well. I'm going to use a blue, a yellow and a white. Never done this before, so I thought I'll give it a go. I think I need to turn these around. So I'm just placing the flowers. Oh, I'm breaking the flowers. Turn those over. So I think that side will be the chopping board side, I think. I also dried out some roses from a recent bouquet. And I was going to maybe use some of these or some of these in here. So I was going to give that a go. Some of these rose petals. They're so pretty. Don't come across. Oh, I'm not sure. Down here. The thing is, you're going to need to make sure they go flat. Maybe that one there, that one there, that one there. Just got to try and think how they're going to look when you turn them over. We'll try it, shall we? It's all about it, trying. So let's move this out of the way. Zero that out. That's definitely not going to be enough. A new box I got. Okay. So that's 42. I'm definitely going to need about 100 ml. 42, 68, so I need 34, 34, 34, 5, 46, shit, 46, I need to do 46 a year. I still don't know if that's enough. So one of the hardest things I find with resin is getting the bubbles out, that's for sure. This is the first time I've used this torch as well, and you'll see later on in my video a major accident that happens with it. Not major, but an accident that happens with it. But yeah, I do find difficult knowing how much resin to use in the first place, and then getting all the bubbles out. So stirring slowly, making sure it's more, you know, read the instructions of your resin. For my one, it's 3 to 4 minutes, so I do stir slowly for 3 to 4 minutes, and you can still see here there's little bubbles in it. I've used the heat gun, not heat gun, but the fire thingy, and I've still got tiny bubbles. So if there are any resin experts, comment below on what we should do in this instance. If not, I will continue to research using videos, and I will see what the advice is. So I'm bringing back my tray now of the flowers, and I'm going to pour in the first first amount of resin, which is only 100. So I know now that 100 definitely was not enough. I think for the whole project I used 500 mil, 500, which was quite a lot. Yeah, you can see as I'm pouring it in, it's clearly not enough. So next time what I will do a base coat of resin, then put in my flowers, and then another couple of coats of resin on top. I think that's what I've learned from this process. But yep, it still looks good, it still looks pretty. And the resin I poured in extremely slowly, and there was no bubbles. Actually, when I poured it in, you can see here it's very translucent.
Okay, so just put another load on. So it's 400 grams. 400 grams, this is now taken. Let's press some of these down. I'm sure you'll be.
So as you can hear, yep, I have got my mask on, safety first, gloves and mask. You should even wear goggles. I haven't got to that point yet, but I will invest. So I have put another batch of resin in, and I don't know what that little alien piece of something was. I took that out. I am pushing down the flowers to the best that I can at the time, because air bubbles have already started to pop up. You can use your lollipop sticks, or you can use anything that you've got to hand. And I'm using little tweezers here, and I go to my lollipop stick at some point as well. So pushing down the flowers as much as I can, and to get the bubbles out. There you go. Yeah. And it's a constant process. Like, the flowers do rise up, so you have to keep pushing them down as they keep popping back up again. But like I say, we're just learning, aren't we? So yeah, the colours of the roses as well, so pretty here. Through the process, you'll see throughout the video, they do lose their colour, which is a bit of a shame. Maybe I can investigate why and how to keep the colour pigmentation of the roses. That would be quite cool. But yep, so let's get on with this, and then we're going to move on to the next bit. Okay, so the next bit you're going to see is where I use the blowtorch again, and I have a minor fire. So learnings from this: one, to understand why the fire happened. I'm not quite sure whether my flame was too close to the resin, and maybe the alcohol spray that was on top of the resin. One thing I know, trying to blow out a fire with a mask on is extremely difficult, so I will make sure that I have a fire extinguisher blanket or a fire extinguisher at hand with a metal tray at all times. And please, just make sure safety is first. So another learning is, obviously it comes out a little bit too fast, so I do realise that the tops on these ink bottles you can cut, so I will look to do that as to help me with the pouring process. So I'm putting white in first, just to see what happens with the colours, and then I'm going to put the darker colour on top, and I'm just practicing and just sort of like experimenting, because I don't think you can do it right or wrong, and that's the whole way that you actually learn. You can watch people as much as you want through YouTube, but I think the best experience you get yourself is obviously by learning and seeing how each colour, especially with these inks, how they react with each other. So now I'm going to drop in the gorgeous yellow. Yeah, this is what I used in the end, which was a much better idea. Oh dear. Much better idea. So it enabled me to control the spread of the colour much better. I love how the blue just goes, look at that, that's sapphire blue, and it instantly just takes this to another level. The colour is just phenomenal. I think it's probably one of my favourite colours I've ever used, the blue and the yellow. To me, it is a peacock. It looks, look at that one there where it's got the green coming in around it, and oh, this is just so satisfying to do, and I can't wait to work with the inks again. I've just ordered some coasters, so I'm going to start making some beautiful ink alcohol ink coasters, it blew my mind. How, look at that. Oh, this is so magical. For someone who's never done this before, and I'm blown away how relatively simple it is. It's quite expensive, but it's a relatively simple hobby. I can say project, but it's a hobby to have, and the end results are just spectacular. Look at this. Oh, I've never really been into art and painting or anything like that, and a lot of people that I see doing resin on YouTube are artists. I'm just a box standard, somebody who just picks things up and gives it a go. So to be able to create masterpieces like this is pretty awesome. Another coat on top. So I've used all of my new resin, and I'm going to leave this now for 48 hours and see what happens. The only thing with the coat that I've just put on, it's got loads of little bubbles, I think they're called. Like a series of like white little things. I'll see if I can show you. I don't know what I've done to cause that. Maybe didn't stir the mixture properly. And some of my leaves are prominent, so I'll show you that as well. Okay, you should be able to see better down here. So in here, I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a series of little lines of bubbles. It's not great. And if we look here, that area over there is definitely popping up. So I don't know what to do about that. I tried poking it down, but it won't stay down. Look. It just won't stay down. I'm wondering if there's a bubble underneath it. On here. I might not use rose petals again for a while till I get proficient at this. And I've run out of resin now, so I can't put another coat on top. But we'll see what it looks like in a few days' time. I think using the colours worked out really well. I think it's got like a peacock look about it. I'm quite impressed with the look. For my first time, I think it's pretty cool. Let me know, excuse me, let me know down below what you think. But yeah, if you can see in here, if you can see in here, those little lines, can you see those little bubbles? So annoying. But I think it looks pretty cool. We'll see what it looks like in a few days' time. And my pink roses, the pink petals, the colour has gone. So these were the pink ones, but the colours, oh look, he's raised as well. Oh, so annoying. Let's see if we can pack those down. No, won't go down. Probably needs another coat, but I have no more resin. It took a lot to cover this little chopping board. It took a lot. I think next time what I'll do is I'll just use the flowers and the colour, and we won't do rose petals for a little while. Like I say, once I get a bit more proficient at this, then we can do it. But yeah, pretty cool. Thanks guys, see you in a bit. Okay, a few days later, it's now cured. So let's see what it looks like, shall we? This is how it's come out. So it's all nice and cured. it's a bit bumpy where I can see that I haven't done enough resin over the top. It needs another layer from here. I can sort of see, oh, I can sort of see from here. This is the other side, so let's get this taken out. Oh, it's got a lip, so that definitely means I didn't put enough resin in. Excuse me. Yeah, it's got a lip, so I definitely didn't put enough resin in. I've been watching lots of YouTube videos and they say if you got a lip, it just does mean that you didn't. As you can see, I think it looks really good. See, I've got my leaves in here. I have got a few bubbles that appeared under the rose petals that I put in. I think you can see because of this lighting. But it's well cool. And some of the edges, they're going to have to be sanded down because they're a little bit sharp. The edges are a little bit sharp. But look how cool that looks. I think I did a good job for my first chopping board. So, I actually think this is really cool. It looks really cool, right? For my first one, it's pretty cool. The only thing I would say is, for me, it cost a lot of money to make. I think it was like it was a whole of the A and B resin that I use. It was a whole one of A and B of these. And I think this cost me on Amazon, it's about £25. JP buys it, so I'm not quite sure, but it is about 20. So this was £25, not including the inks. So the inks as well, if you put a couple of pence on top of the ink. Rose petals were free because they were a present. But yeah, you'd have to sell something like this probably for £30–35 with postage on top. So, but it's really cute. It's very peacock look. You can see the light. You can see the little bubbles though. Let me see if I can find some of the bubbles. So in here, can you see the bubbles? Which is a little bit frustrating, but I'm going to probably keep this for myself or give it to my mum, so it doesn't really matter. It looks pretty cool. Let me know down below if you think it's really cool and if you think it's good. If you are a resin expert, let me know where I went wrong, like setting myself on fire. And setting yourself on fire and trying to blow the flames out through a mask. Yeah, so I think the flame torch for me is going back into the kitchen. I won't be using that again. I do have the alcohol spray I will be using, but because I was using alcohol inks, I thought that probably wouldn't go so well. It would probably dilute some of the look that I was trying to go for. We all learn. This is me learning as I'm going. So if you're enjoying these videos and you want to learn at the same time, then great videos, because we're going to learn together. I think what I could do on this side is maybe put another layer of resin. I could put another coat of resin on, because these petals you can definitely feel. So I could put another layer of resin on. But first attempt. We're getting there. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit subscribe, like, notification bell, and I'll catch you next time.
Don't we say that it's too late for us now?